In learning the second language, there are a lot of causes as to how we learn the language this way. In this video discussion, let us discover what are these variables that affect how we learn the language. Hello everyone, good evening. In my previous video, we have talked about the three schools of thought in second language acquisition. Today, we are going to discuss about the causative variables in second language acquisition. But before that, let us differentiate first what is the difference between learning and acquisition. When we say learning, it is the explicit instruction or consciously studying a language, while acquisition, on the other hand, is subconsciously absorbing the language as we use it for a variety of purposes. What are these causative variables? According to Krashen 1987, the true causative variables in second language acquisition derive from the input hypothesis and affective filter. It is the amount of comprehensible input the acquirers receive and understand, and the strength of the affective filter, or the degree to which the acquirers is open to the input. These are the variables that affect how we learn the second language. Comprehensible input and affective filter. People acquire second language when they obtain comprehensible input and when their affective filter are low enough to allow the input into the language acquisition device. This is where learning takes place. The input must be comprehensible and also needs to be one level of linguistic complexity beyond the learner's level to develop second language proficiency. Krashen believes that in comprehensible input, the student's understanding of a message is a must. People can't have acquisition without comprehensible input. In order to acquire the second language, two conditions are necessary. First, a comprehensible input must contain I+1 structure a bit beyond the acquirer's current level. Second, a low or weak affective filter to allow the input in. This means that acquisition is likely to happen if there's a well-built language that is exposed to the learners and that the learners has less knowledge about it. Simple logic says, what else can we learn if we already know it? How do we figure out what is just above a language learner's ability? Students learn at different rates and at different levels. Teachers need to have differentiated instruction to be able to meet everybody's needs. In order to make comprehensible input, we need to think about different ways that can be done. We can use pictures, gestures, vocabulary, repetition, and more. The affective filter. It defines how much a person learns in a formal or informal setting. It comprises of attitudes towards the language, motivation, self-confidence, and anxiety. In acquiring a language, we need to consider the motivation. Are students motivated to learn a language? What is it they want to do with the language that's going to affect their affective filter, self-confidence? Everyone has their own personality, and some people have more confidence than others. And certainly, we impact their confidence as well. The emotions of the learners about learning is what will affect their affective filter. The low anxiety is an important piece to the teachers. The teachers need to be the one who's creating a low anxiety classroom where there is no sense that students will get bullied or have any sense of fear. A high affective filter is something we do not want in the classroom. For example, if laughing at mistakes is tolerated and the teacher lets that go on, then students will not feel comfortable being able to speak or use the language they do have, and that will create a higher affective filter. Another important thing that we maybe don't think as related to the effect of filter is having no routines. Routines help students feel safe because they know what to expect and what to do, and it can raise the affective filter if there are no routines. How do we lower the affective filter in a classroom? When errors are natural and we affirm students' efforts, we can help them lower their affective filter. Another is when respect is required by all and there is zero tolerance of disrespect. To simply put everything, Stephen Krashen said in Second Language Acquisition that people acquire language in one way and only one way when we get comprehensible input in a low anxiety environment. Take a look now in a nutshell at his theories and his ideas. The comprehensible input is the real piece of the teachers. What have teachers done in their lesson to help students be able to understand? If their lesson is made up just of words, then students will not be able to understand it. Teachers need to give pictures, maybe even a pantomime or a little video, different ways for students to be able to understand what they're saying and doing. Then we need to think about the affective filter. What have teachers done to help create a comfortable classroom? Are they giving students an opportunity to share with each other, to learn from each other? Or are they raising that affective filter? Have teachers created a barrier between learning because students feel afraid or nervous? Or have they created a sense of safety so that students won't feel that they are bullied or embarrassed or ridiculed? Teachers need to think about these pieces of affective filter. If teachers done a good job of comprehensible input and if they lower the affective filter, then information can get into the LAD or the language acquisition device. As Chomsky said, this means that learners acquire the knowledge, and this is what teachers want for the learners, that they have actually learned or acquired knowledge as become part of them. Up here, we have learned knowledge. This is the things that we actually teach, and this is what helps function using our monitor. So when we think about something we're going to say or write, then our learned knowledge is using our monitor to check ourselves. Is it correct? Did I do it right? And finally, we get the output. Something to think about is how much is it just acquired, and how much do we actually need to teach. That is learned knowledge. In conclusion, the learners need expectations of success, the confidence to take risks and make mistakes, a willingness to share and engage, the confidence to ask for help, and an acceptance of the need to readjust. The teachers, on the other hand, need respect for and interest in the students' language, culture, thoughts, and intention, the ability to recognize growth points, strength, and potential, the appreciation that mistakes are necessary to learning, the confidence to maintain a brief richness and variety to much to the learner's interest and direction to stimulate and challenge a sensitive awareness of when to intervene and when to live alone. So that's all for today. I hope that you learned new knowledge in this video. This is Mary Grace Cafe from BSEd English 2nd year. Thank you for watching and God bless you all.